close your eyes and imagine the year 250 BC. You are standing in the greatest architectural marvel of the human race, the Museum of Alexandria. The air is thick with the scent of cedar oil, used to preserve the thousands upon thousands of papyrus scrolls that line the walls from floor to ceiling. This isn't just a library, it is the brain of the world. Every ship that docks in the harbor is searched, not for gold or spices, but for books. The originals are kept, the owners are given copies. Now imagine you reach into a bin labeled astronomy and pull out a scroll written by a man named Aristarchus of Samos. As you unroll it, your understanding of reality begins to shatter. For centuries, every philosopher, priest, and king has told you that the Earth is the stationary, holy center of the universe. But Aristarchus is looking at the math, and the math says something terrifying. He's looking at the shadow of the Earth during a lunar eclipse. He's measuring the angle of the moon at the half phase, and he has come to a conclusion that won't be discovered again for another 1800 years. He realizes the Earth is not the center. He realizes we are spinning on an axis. He realizes that we and every other planet are hurtling through the void around a massive central fire, the sun. We are taught that the scientific revolution began with Copernicus in 1543. We are told that the Dark Ages were just a natural part of human progression. But the existence of this one scroll, this one secret lost in the fires of Alexandria, suggests that we didn't just lose books. We lost nearly 2 millennia of progress. If this knowledge had been preserved, the Renaissance wouldn't have happened in the 1500s. It would have happened during the Roman Empire. Before we break down the incredible geometry Aristarchus used to prove the Earth moves, I want to ask you to join our search for the truth. If you believe that history is full of secrets we've yet to uncover, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. We are building a community of history hunters who look beyond the textbooks. And if you're enjoying this deep dive into the lost archives, smash that like button right now. It helps the algorithm share these lost secrets with the world. Done? Good. Let's look at the math that almost changed the world. Aristarchus of Samos was a mathematician first and an astronomer second. He didn't just have a hunch that the sun was the center. He used a method called the half-moon observation. He realized that when the moon is exactly half illuminated, the Earth, moon, and sun form a perfect right-angled triangle. By measuring the angle between the moon and the sun from Earth, he could calculate the relative distances between them. Now, his tools were primitive, so his measurements were off by a bit, but his logic was flawless. He calculated that the sun was vastly, unimaginably larger than the Earth. To Aristarchus, the idea that a massive object like the sun would revolve around a tiny speck like the Earth was absurd. It violated the laws of harmony in physics as he understood them. But he went further. He proposed that the stars were not just lights on a dome a few miles up. He argued that the stars were other suns, placed so incredibly far away that the Earth's movement didn't seem to change their position, a concept we now call stellar parallax. Think about the implications of this. If the Library of Alexandria had stayed standing, if the works of Aristarchus had become the standard textbook for every student in the Mediterranean, the Middle Ages as we know them would never have existed. We would have had 1,000 years of scientists refining Aristarchus's math instead of theologians arguing over the shape of the firmament. When the library was destroyed, whether by Caesar's fire, the religious riots of the 4th century, or the final conquest, these scrolls were used, according to some accounts, as fuel to heat the city's public baths. For 6 months, the greatest thoughts of the ancient world were burned to keep water warm. The heliocentric model literally went up in smoke. For the next 1800 years, humanity retreated into a geocentric prison. We believed the Earth was the center of everything because it felt like it. We tortured and silenced those who suggested otherwise. We forgot the geometry of the heavens. Imagine the what if. If the secret of Aristarchus had been preserved, where would we be today? If the industrial and scientific revolutions had started in the 2nd century, we wouldn't just be landing on the moon today. We would likely be an interstellar species. We would have had 2,000 years to solve the problems of energy, medicine, and travel. The secret of Alexandria wasn't just a fact, it was a way of thinking. It was a world that valued evidence over dogma and math over myth. When the library burned, it wasn't just paper that turned to ash, it was our future. Aristarchus' main work, titled On the Sizes and Distances of the Sun and Moon, actually survived in a small fragment, but his most important book, the one where he explicitly lays out the heliocentric theory, is gone forever. We only know it existed because other ancient writers, like Archimedes, mentioned it almost as a side note, mocking the impossible idea that the Earth could move. So the next time you look up at the stars, remember Aristarchus. Remember the man who saw the truth 2,300 years ago. And remember that knowledge is fragile. It has to be protected, or it can be lost for an eternity. The Library of Alexandria wasn't just a building, it was a promise that humanity would keep moving forward, and when it fell, that promise was broken. We are only now, in the last few centuries, beginning to reclaim the secrets that were already sitting on a shelf in Egypt, waiting for us to read them. If you want to see the next episode in this series where we explore the lost medical secrets of the Alexandrian physicians who were performing surgeries and mapping the nervous system while the rest of the world was still using leeches, click the video on the left. Don't forget to like this video and share it with someone who thinks Columbus was the first person to know the Earth was a sphere. Let's keep the fire of knowledge burning. I'm History Vault, and I'll see you in the archives.